Number 6 getting away there, Gary Bryant. He was seeded at 21 on his way to the Isle of Man, but little gaps in the programme have seen him move up, so watch out for him. Gary Bryant through Braddon Bridge. Gary Bryant, 6th place. It's Molly. It's Crow by 57 seconds at the end of lap 2. Gary Bryant through Ramsey, on for another good finish. He's had a good week at the Isle of Man this year. This is Gary Bryant and Colin Hardman coming into Ballincrane. We're looking down on Phil Dongworth and Gary Bryant coming up towards Rencullen, and Dongworth goes past him on the road. We saw they were a couple of seconds apart. We knew Dongworth was making up time. He's made up quite a lot of it now. Number 6, Ben Dixon, Mark Lambert, 8th place. Number 7, Gary Bryant and Colin Hardman in 4th place. That was back at Ramsey hairpin. Gary Bryant, Colin Hardman, 5th at Glen Helen again at Ballaugh. And that's number 10 behind. So let's have a look as they go through the bungalow. Circuit knowledge. You need to know what's around the corner because almost certainly it's another corner. That was Gary Bryant, Colin Hardman, 5th place on Monday. Here is Gary Bryant, number 10. And Colin Hardman turning right at Ballincrane, and that number 10 is a second or so off second place. And that's Gary Bryant and Colin Hardman behind Andy Laidlow and Patrick Farrance now 2 seconds now behind second place Steve Norbury, 15 seconds behind the race leader, and just goes straight past the number 8 unit. That's all about power, that is. And Laidlaw undoes that. Well, we just saw the number 10 unit steam past a mile ago, and now the positions are being reversed. And does that raise a question mark over power, or is that just racing between these two? Here we are, ground level, looking at the same thing. Well, Gary Bryant definitely having a look up the inside there, so he still thinks he's got the grunt to go past. This is Gary Bryant and Ivan Murray. We've done 10 riders away from the start so far, and any one of them could win this race. This is Gary Bryant with Robert Bell in the chair at Solby, 8th place. Oh, and here's Roy Hanks here.
Yep, Roy Hanks, number 8, getting caught by number 10, Gary Bryant and Gary Partridge. Looking at number 8, that's Roy Hanks and Dave Wells. Been hunted down by Gary Bryant and Gary Partridge. Made up a lot of time on Hanks. This is number 10, Gary Bryant, Gary Partridge.
Yeah.
And number 8, that's Roy Hanks and Dave Wells.
So they've made up time already because the number 10 obviously started behind the number 8 as they go through Parliament Square again. There is number 10, Gary Bryant and Gary Partridge, and they've got the number 8 outfit of Roy Hanks and Dan Wells right behind her. This has been going on the whole race. This is the bottom of Bagarrow.
Yep, number 10, Gary Bryant, Gary Partridge. They're in 7th place at the moment.
And here we have Gary Bryant and Jamie Wynn. They're pushing hard. They can see the Birchill boys in front of them and they're ahead on time. Pushing hard.
This is
from
Brian,
the bar.
Yeah, now Brian back in front of the Birchill boys. They're having a good dice too. They've been at it for about a lap.